On Second Shot, we tackle 2 new headlines every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And we want you to be a part of that. When you see a headline you want to take a second shot at, or if you're looking for advice, or just want to tell us what you think of the show, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, rate us on iTunes. This helps us move up in the ratings so more people will see us. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the show so that the new episodes will get straight to you every single Friday. We love you. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
There's a lot of news in the world today.
News that might surprise you, startle you, upset, or maybe impress.
News that's not always for the faint of heart.
That's why the man who failed his way to success, Heath Oakes, is stepping up.
Tackling today's headlines with ignorance on fire in a way only a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with your host, Heath Oakes.
As Brighton would say when she gets done drinking. Now, I've got my daughter like on point that when she takes a drink of water, she'll drink it. And she'll...
It's really, we
time.
are raising a prodigy.
That's certainly not intentional. It's one of the things she picks up, right?
Yeah, well, no, I intentionally taught
he did it.
her.
Like one day I came home from work and I was like,
It's so
what'd you guys
cute.
work on? And he goes, Brighton, take a sip of water. And she does it.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my sister got a Furby. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was one
Oh,
of those
wow. High roller
Oh,
Furby.
yeah, totally. Oh, it was a big deal. And it would pick up anything you said. And me being like the terrible little brother, I thought it'd be funny if I could get it to say something crass that it shouldn't say, right? So I got it to say shut up because I thought it was funny, and it basically ruined the Furby, and I felt horrible about it. And it's good to know that like that childish something in me like exists in the world, and Heath Oakes teaching his daughter to
Yes.
let out a little.
We got my wife Jenny and Zach and Matt in the house for this episode. What's
Hello.
up?
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
And Zach's got his new shirt on. We got
I
some
do,
second
yeah.
shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
looking great.
We got some second shot swag, and I just got enough really to try to test out the clothes and the shirt and the hats and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm gonna put an order of more in and all that. And we're gonna figure out. We got some, coming up in a couple of episodes. We'll have a little contest thing put together to give out some swag.
Not to not to oversell it or anything, but this is cotton blend, man.
Yeah,
It's got
it's a
a
nice
V-neck.
shirt.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's a good shirt. I dig it. It breathes.
Yeah.
Color me impressed, Heath Oakes. Mine would have been, if I had a podcast I was getting a shirt for, it'd be like a cheap iron-on from
See-
like cheapshirts.com or
well,
something.
that's,
like, no,
that's
this
where I
is,
went. That's
Yeah,
what I said. I was
but
like,
not me.
No,
You know me.
this is good stuff.
I said, babe, we can go to like, I don't know anywhere crap online. He's like, I want Gap shirts. And I'm like,
I want nice shirts. I want to be able to give somebody a shirt that's going to be
It's
nice.
true.
I don't want to send them no ironed-on stuff.
This has the Gap label on it. Color
Yes.
me impressed.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Jenny comes walking in with her groceries. She went to the grocery store, I guess, ahead of time and brought her bag of groceries
I
in.
went
I
grocery
was like,
shopping
really?
at 8:30 this morning.
Did you really?
Well, I did.
Okay.
I've been up since 2 o'clock.
Right. It's true.
A.m. So after I got off work, we went grocery shopping yesterday, but like I don't know about you guys, but I have to go to like 3 different grocery stores in order to get all the things every week. So
All right.
we did Whole Foods yesterday, and I did regular grocery store today. And I had to bring them in because Texas problems, they will like everything will go bad within 10 minutes
Yeah.
of being in the car, right?
What do you...
It's hot.
What can you not get at Whole Foods? I thought Whole Foods did like everything.
A lot of stuff. Heath's hair gel, first of all.
Okay. Yeah.
Priority one.
That is
I
priority.
assume that was just a natural.
Yeah, it is pretty much natural.
Yeah, certain seasonings.
Okay.
They don't sell like very many Mexican seasonings there. They don't sell a lot of blended seasonings there.
Wow.
Also things that you just don't want to spend too much money on.
Yeah.
Like you can get organic eggs cheaper at a regular store.
Well, thanks for nothing, Jeff
Saying.
Bezos. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, like that 10% off for Amazon
Yeah.
customers.
I firm belief. I know we need to get in the article here. I think the best time to go to the grocery store is like 8 a.m. any weekday. There's nobody
you.
there. There's nobody there. It's the greatest.
Well, what's great about Whole Foods-
And the
it's
cashiers
awesome.
are fresh
Yeah.
and friendly and
Yeah,
like pop
they're all
in, happy to
nice.
see you.
Yep,
What's
it's
great about Whole Foods is I took Brighton over to the little play area and played with her while Jenny shopped.
Yeah. They have a play area?
Yeah.
I got to start going to Whole Foods. What am I
mean,
doing?
I
Yeah.
know.
I'm doing it all wrong.
Spend your whole face yet.
All right. Yes. The first headline on the show where we do headlines and break them down and talk about what they're about. Yes. Army to lower divorce rates by training soldiers not to marry strippers. Heath, I want you to know,
I
like,
thought this was a joke when I saw it.
this is the first time, I think, in the history of the show I've had to go back and legitimately check that this guy is a real Army Chief of Staff, and this is a real thing that happened. After an exhaustive study conducted by the RAND Corporation aimed at understanding and lowering the divorce rates of soldiers, Army Chief of Staff General Mark A. Milley, a real person, announced yesterday that they're going to start training soldiers to not marry strippers. That's where our tax dollars are going. Going in, our assumption
No
was
offense
that
to the strippers.
No. Of course not. Good people.
They
Going
deserve
in,
love as well.
our assumption was that long and frequent deployments were the root cause of the higher than average divorce rates of our soldiers. It turns out, instead, there's a very high correlation between the frequency of a spouse removing their clothes in exchange for money and the divorce
Wait,
rate.
where is this article from? I question the
I
legitimacy
know, that's what
of
I
this
said.
article.
I was like, this can't be real. There's no way the Army Chief of Staff actually said this. It's from duffelblog.com. I found it, I Googled it, I found a bunch of other sources for it.
Okay, so
I didn't
this
get it on MSNBC or anything, but as far as I can tell,
But there are a lot of sources.
the,
for it.
Well-
the first page of Google is all this. So
Well,
I
there's
mean,
a ton of
Okay.
there's obviously a big issue with military in general, with divorce rates, and in general our society. I would say with
Yeah.
divorce rates.
And I'm inclined to think that the Army Chief of Staff, like, maybe has a little bit of sass. Maybe he's a little, a little sassy when he says something like this. Why not? Heath, what's the spin here?
Well, I was just kind of thinking, just kind of marriage in general talk, and also finding that person and what you're looking for. And sometimes it's so ironic how what you think you gotta, these people, they got the list of what's perfect for them and what they're waiting on, and some of these that don't. And I go, what is the most important in looking, with somebody and for somebody in the marriage and in general?
Well, so I definitely had a list, and I was
You would have a
stuck
list.
to this list for years. It was very specific, and I dated many people on this list, none of whom I married. So what I found out was, and someone had given me the advice of, you just need to just kind of like open yourself up a little bit more, date different people, date people off the list, date people
Different backgrounds,
different
types.
backgrounds, people from different walks of life, because clearly the list is not working, right?
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until that time, and I dated a couple. It was like before Heath, I felt like I was getting hotter, like I was getting closer to. Oh wow, we're having more fun. Like he doesn't have the things on the list, but this is more enjoyable. Or wow, I could potentially see myself with this person, and then ultimately I met Heath, and Heath, I don't even know if he had anything on that original list, but what it was there's just an essence of qualities that are not, it's not tactile, it's not something that can be scripted, written down, planned, arranged, or anything like that. So that was like my biggest, I think, for other girlfriends who are, hoping that they are going to meet somebody, my biggest thing for them is like, get rid of the list and get rid of the expectation. And when you see
And
somebody,
what you think.
and when, and not, I'm not just saying like, oh, don't look at looks. I'm saying just style, vibe, car, whatever the thing is that you find yourself naturally attracted to, be open to the guy that somebody says, you know what, I think you guys could work out. Let me set you up. And you look at his Facebook profile and say, nah, not for me. Like, why? You know nothing about his essence. You know nothing about his heart or his
And you
demeanor.
won't really know what you like until you do it.
That's the thing. Shopping.
Yeah.
I mean, dating.
Yeah.
But shopping. But it's really like if you only ever shop at Target, like Target's great, it's fine, it's got that little dollar thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you don't know about the play area at Whole
You don't know
Foods.
the play area at Whole Foods, exactly. You'll never know of the really low prices at some of the discount retailers. You don't know of like, oh, Costco, you can get all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like if you only date a few people because you're so restricted to that list and you're so particular and so rigid and so I deserve the best. Yes, you do deserve the best,
But you
we
don't know what the best is.
Yeah, we don't know what the best is for us.
And I would think the most, the interesting thing is Jenny and I have talked about it on paper and on the outside looking in. Jenny and I would have zero in common of what would be thought from an outside perspective. Looking in it, you've got a North Idaho journalist, the East Texas redneck, little town. There's not a whole lot of things that go.
Right, like when I do outdoorsy, I do hiking. He does motorized vehicles.
Yes,
like,
I mean, there's a
he does
lot
chicken
of
fried steak. I do grilled chicken.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of those. But you know what we realized is the core essence of our raising, the basic fundamental principles that are really the most important, are identical. You know, we grew up working hard. We grew up to do right. We grew up by like those basic fundamental things that people take for, you know, granted. That's what the core part of our relationship that are immovable. Like, those are things that so look.
Well, it's just like you strip everything else away. You strip
Yes.
away whatever, you know, they happen to be good at, or little interests, hobbies, things like that. You strip that away, and then you find the core person.
Yes.
And that's what's most important, because on a long enough timeline, people inevitably change. We change every day, right?
Every day.
Yeah. You're not going to be the same person you were yesterday. You're not going to be the same person you are tomorrow. You have to figure out who you are
The
deep
core
down.
principles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going to
Yeah.
last. That's what's
Because-
going to matter. And when you're getting with somebody and saying, let's do this long term,
Yeah.
that's what's important.
See, the thing is it's not that, and it's about making those changes with them and being okay with, like, you know, she may not love to go race go-karts, but if I really want to, she's going to go do it with me. I may not love going to just doing this one hike, but I'm going to go do it because she wants to, because that's what I want to do, right? That's the stuff that that's easy to make. The hard thing to find in somebody is those core principles and beliefs. To find them, that's what you got to do. Strip away everything else and get to that, and try and shop at the discount stores, shop at the Whole Foods.
Yeah.
You know there's a playroom in there, and you don't know that, you know.
Sure.
Go try some of them, and maybe we can lower these divorce rates in general, and be ready to change with people. Be ready to move with people through life and as they go to it. And we'll be right back in a minute on the second segment of Second Shot.
He's a suit and tie kind of guy with deep Southern roots. Heath Oaks hosts more of Second Shot coming up on RNCN.
To all of my friends in the great state of Texas, if you have not taken advantage, I have a way to save you a ton of money. I have saved over about $3,000 in the last year, and I have no hassle. Go to energyogre.com, put in the promo code SECONDSHOT. Now listen, promo code SECONDSHOT, and you're going to get a free month just for signing up and saving a ton of money. So don't be crazy. Stop sitting around talking about, is this the real deal, and go do it right now. energyogre.com, promo code SECONDSHOT, and a free month. Thanks. Go get it now. Run.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Second Shot is back for another round on RNCN.
I've adopted hiking, and Jenny has adopted brisket. Those are like two of those things that we kind of like.
I think she
gave
won on that deal.
Yeah.
She
Brisket,
won like
yeah.
a champ.
Why? Because I get brisket.
Yes.
Yeah, brisket's great.
Brisket, yeah.
I've never been into any meats really.
Yeah.
But then if you show up at Heath's parents' house, like, you can only not eat for so long before you're like, okay, I guess
Right,
I'll
there's
try
only
your-
so much you can get in
Gotta
East
make it
Texas.
happen.
Hey, one of the first times, like, look, this is healthy, and it was a fruit salad. You know, I was like, oh, look, get something healthy, and he was like, I mean, the way my mom made a fruit salad obviously was not healthy.
Got whipped cream in
Whipped
there.
cream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also
I was
much
like, oh,
love.
it's
It was
healthy, it's healthy.
delicious.
Sure.
It's healthy.
That was
Texas
like, you
fruit
guys,
salad.
listen to, wait, did we ever talk about the pimento cheese that you got for me?
I don't know.
Okay, so we went to this lake trip. I'll make this quick because I know we have a point to get to. We went to this lake trip to a wedding. We're staying at this cabin, and Heath went grocery shopping, and he's all excited, like, "Oh, Jenny, I brought
First
you."
of all, we're out in the middle of nowhere in Alabama. The only place it was a Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly
The
Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly does
Still.
not have a lot of organic options. Okay.
Still, he's like, I got some healthy stuff for you, and I was like, "Oh, cool. What'd you get?" And he
Yeah.
goes, "Pimento cheese," which is literally cheese but worse. Cheese
Yeah.
plus mayonnaise and crackers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know nutrition.
Right.
I'm
No,
thinking it's
you don't.
pimento cheese.
It's got
maybe put little
pimentos in there.
crackers. Yeah, it can't be that bad.
I get it. I mean, you have the Piggly Wiggly.
I
You
meant the
can't get-
Piggly Wiggly. Not a lot. I mean, it's in
Yeah.
South
Like, the
Alabama.
nutrient profile of pimento cheese is inherently worse than just regular full-fat cheese. It's like
South,
cheese plus butter.
South Alabama doesn't source great cheese, you know?
It was
Struggling
good.
out there.
It
oh,
was
it?
it was good.
Okay.
I did eat it. He did get some strawberries too. So
Yeah, I think it's strawberries.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's nutrition.
Yeah.
That grows on a tree.
Yeah.
The next story we have, and this is I'll just get right into it. This talented UCLA gymnast achieves a perfect score for epic Michael Jackson floor routine. UCLA gymnast Caitlin Ohashi knew that she was determined to win when she participated in the 2018 Pac-12 championships just the other day. Just before she began her routine, the announcers announced that she had achieved several perfect scores of 10, but she needed to achieve a 9.6 or higher on her next routine if she wanted to win the competition. She hit a Michael Jackson bit that she does with a mashup of songs, and she got another perfect 10. It's a Facebook video. It is totally worth watching. It's been seen 52 million times. Go check it out. I think we'll have a link somewhere in the show notes or on the page.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Show notes or something.
Heath, what's your angle on this?
Well, I was reading recently and talking about choking, about when people choke under pressure and stuff, right?
Sure.
This young lady did not choke under pressure. This young lady, rose to the occasion beyond rising to the occasion, okay?
Yeah.
But the thing is people like her that are super talented at times, they do choke. I mean, some of the best professional golfers in the world, they talk about choking. What happened to them as the pressure got high, they fell backwards. And, as a quarterback in football, one of the biggest attributes they look for in a quarterback is the mental aspect of it. Like if it's the last drive and they got 1 minute to score, you don't want to leave the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands under 2 minutes left with the score needing to happen. That's the worst thing. He has the everybody knows him. Mm-hmm. There's a good chance they're going to win. And how great it'd be to be that person that under pressure every time, everybody knows he's probably going to hurt you because he's going to come through.
Yeah. You're saying if you're on his team, you do want him to have.
Yes. Yeah. If you're not, you want out. So what's the difference between the people who choke and throw an interception and screw up that dance routine when a perfect score's on the line and winning, and why some of them do and why some of them don't?
So I think this is mental preparation and maturity, which is something that it's interesting to see how youth athletics is starting to coach with this. We're seeing children do meditation. We're seeing children do yoga. We're seeing children learn about mantras and positivity and things like that with regard to athletics. But the other thing with this too is peaking every time.
Yep.
So sometimes we think, oh, the boss is coming. I'm going to clean off my desk. I'm going to do my best presentation, or for me, have my best show. Well, people are watching your show every day.
Yeah.
The boss could log on any time and watch it. And if you're kind of waiting till the day that, oh, they put me in as the lead story, now I'm going to nail it. Well, you're not going to get that chance when the world is watching you because you're not consistently performing at your peak every day. Obviously, we're all going to have off days and things like that, but you can't be the one who's I'm going to mail it in today. And we all know that sometimes we do that. Sometimes we're just I'm really tired. It's fine, Jenny. Just go to work and just kind of, get through. But when you're doing that, that becomes the habit, and the mailing in becomes the norm, and the exceptional performance becomes the thing that you only do when you're on this big stage. And she obviously peaked, but I would bet that she peaks all the time.
Well, yeah. Well, she obviously, that was her... it's all the mental. Choking and not choking is all mental. It's all in your head. I mean, because every one of those people have the talent. They're all in that spot. Some can just let their mental get a hold of them or not.
There's a tiny difference between the top and second place.
Y'all know the movie Tin Cup?
Tin Cup?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Zach.
No.
Okay, Zach.
Got it. Write down. Got it.
Tin Cup. How have you never... I mean, that's an epic all-time movie.
I went to film school.
How do you not know what Tin Cup? It's like an epic movie.
Man, I don't know. I saw The Sandlot. All right, what other sport-related
Tin
epic
Cup.
films do I need to see?
8 seconds.
The program.
8 seconds.
The program. I love the
Tin
program.
Cup.
Tin Cup, the program.
Tin Cup is hilarious.
Second shot watch list here.
So in Tin Cup,
you've got a busy weekend ahead.
Yeah, I do.
In Tin Cup, he just blows it and chokes because he shoots it for the green and it goes in the water. And instead of doing the smart thing and doing a drop and just doing whatever, he got in his mind and dropped another ball, hit it in the water, dropped another and hit in the water of an epic 9-stroke over because he just wouldn't take the drop. He kept going for it.
Sure.
He just let it get I'm going to win this thing, right? And that's what happens to a lot of people in a lot of pressure situations is they let themselves get inside their head because the old rule and the old adage is the 10,000-hour rule. Mm-hmm. Right? Everybody says that's where people become epic and great at things is 10,000 hours. So if you've been playing the piano since 8 years old and I start playing it at 20, okay, and that person's been practicing for 2 hours, 5 days a week for 10 years, the amount of hours they've got, everybody says you become above average after 10,000 hours of practice of something, right?
Right.
So then you take two people who all have 10+ thousand hours of practice, and they're all coming down to the end of it. I mean, like when you watch a golf, for instance, coming down to the last hole and it's neck and neck, or somebody's got it 3-shot lead and all they got to do is finish easy and they, crash and burn. They all have the same talent level. They all have the same amount of hours. That one person let their head go. Instead of just getting up there, doing what they normally do, swinging and hitting the ball, they go, what does my elbow look like? I need to bring that back a little bit more. I don't want to screw this up. I can't screw. That's in their head. That's going on in the head. And that's not keeping their habits down, which has gotten them there. And then they choke. And that's what choking is they think. They get inside their head and get out of their routine, get out of their norm because they start feeling that pressure. And like that's what you were talking about
this
when you talk
event
about
is
the meditation.
bigger than the others.
Yes, like in this one spot is bigger than the others. No, get up there, think about what you always think about and how you do. And I believe that meditation and mindfulness is what will help you prepare you for those extreme intense pressure situations. And that's what you were hitting at a while ago.
Well, yeah, because you can't start meditating that day. You know, you can't get your mind right that day, that one time, the one day that the boss shows up, or the one day it's the, world championships of whatever. You have to have a consistent practice so that it feels normal, and where everyone else's nerves are up here, you're like even, just like you've always been, being your best, just like you always are.
And what you got to learn how to become mindful, to be mindful that your mind is thinking about things that are different. Like when you go to that board meeting to do that presentation and you do it all the time, but this time there's, like you said, these 2 extra bosses are going to be there. What's going through your mind is different than before. If it is, it's going to throw you all off. Or if you have that fear of speaking in public, what's going on in your mind? Or is it going on in your mind? Oh my God, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to do all this. That's what mindful teaches you to do, is to, when those moments come up, how to recognize it and remove those thoughts from your head. Because if you're scared to stand up and talk in front of a group of 10 people and you're thinking in your head, oh my God, I'm going to screw up. These people are going to think I'm horrible. That's going on inside your head. That's what's going to make you choke when you get up there. But learning to become mindful is what helps you realize that, stop that chain and reframe it with positive things like, I'm going to kill this.
Well, and that's why if anyone's ever at an event that I speak at or am presenting at, you'll never really see me prior to the event engaging with people and chatting and hanging out. Some people can really do that. I feel like Heath can do that. Heath can go out, chat with them, hang with them, and then step up and speak and nail it. I need to be sort of like I need to run through everything. I need to do my breaths. I need to do my little voice exercises, the same stuff that I do before news or before anything like that, because I need to be in the same flow. And then it can't be interrupted or deterred by my own negative thoughts saying, oh gosh, who's in that audience? Oh wow. Oh, I heard that person didn't think I was very interesting, or I heard that person didn't think they booked a very good guest. So I'd rather just go in the zone, do my thing, and then chat with people afterwards. Yeah. And it's just different for everybody. It's just a matter of figuring out what works for you. But that's a funny thing, is that's where a bunch of psychologists and stuff come really to the thing is that it just was people that would choke and the ones that were not, it was being mindful. And it was that they all had the 10,000 plus hour rule, where they'd all had the same type of talent and all that. They just all of a sudden let their own mind get to them and think about the elbow in their swing versus when before they haven't thought about their elbow since they were in 7th grade, right? They learn how to hit the ball and they haven't thought about that in a long time, but they let that get to them. Or that person that goes, hey, don't screw it up. And they go, oh my God, am I going to screw this up? It's all in their head.
You guys are totally right. And it's funny because I'm a big choker. I choke under pressure every time. I love it. And it's always every time.
Zach is like,
every time.
Great. That should be the name of this.
No, this just has to stop.
The name of this show is I choke under pressure every time.
Let's unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. No. Every time I choke under pressure. Anytime it gets rough, I'm the first one to be like, all right, I choked. I knew it. And I think that acknowledgement of that you choked is important to help you understand that you failed and to get better. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Oftentimes I find myself wishing, God, I wish I could just have horse blinders. Not what if I didn't know that I'm right in front of the finish line?
Well, but you
I'm
can.
About to trip.
Yeah, but see, you can. That's the thoughts going through.
That's what the meditation is about.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what meditation does, is teach you how to be mindful and teach you how to stop that and teach you how to put the blinders on. And it takes time. And that was what being mindful and learning mindfulness, and that's what I use instead of meditation, because meditation has a weird like feel about it to a lot of people. But the app Headspace, walks you through like some mindfulness, and mindfulness is just learning your own thoughts and your emotions and all of that. So I hope that we can take a little lesson from this young lady, that go out there and do you, be who you are. She was confident in it. She went out there and nailed it. And like under all the pressure and all the setting the bar, and she did it, and she did it better than she probably ever had done it. And I appreciate that. Like I respect what she did. Like she just owned it, nailed it. And so I'm hoping that maybe you can be a little bit more mindful and go out there and nail it and own it on the next time that you need to. And we're going to be back and talk about the group and all on the third segment of Second Shot.
Now that's what I call ignorance on fire. More of Second Shot with Heath Oaks still to come.
You guys have been listening to Second Shot and hearing us talk about it. You need to go pick up my book, Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. You can get it on Amazon in paper book. You can also hear this beautiful voice of mine in audiobook style on Audible or anywhere you're going to get your audiobooks. Guys, this book took a lot of time to put into it, and I believe it can really be some life-changing stuff to help you on your path to success. And hopefully you're going to fail your way to success just like I did. Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. Amazon.com, Audible.com, audiobooks, paper books, everything. Get it, share it with your people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Go pick it up today.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot on RNCN.
Well, we just were continuing the choking talk as my wife was trying to get Zach on the therapist chair and talk about the in-depth on choking.
Well, I empathize so much because I am also that person. Okay, so what is it that makes making you choke? Yeah.
I had a get together with a friend from out of town over the weekend, right? Saturday. I had met this friend up in Michigan when I was on vacation, and it's like my aunt's friend's son who happened to live in Plano up till a few years ago. Yeah, and now he lives up in Detroit, and he's a flight attendant. It's great. And he was coming down here for the weekend and said, let's get together, let's get lunch. So Christine and I were like, let's totally do that. And the whole time from the beginning of it, I'm like, I don't know this person that well. We're going to a place I don't know. A little bit of anxiety holds you up a little bit, right? And this isn't like this isn't a public thing. I mean, we were in public, but this isn't like I'm not broadcasting.
No, but this counts. This counts. This all counts.
This is somebody I don't know that well, right? And so I think about this for like a week. I'm like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna talk about? Where are we gonna go?
Did you cancel?
No. So we actually go out there. The whole time I'm playing it cool, but in my head I'm just like, oh God, like this is gonna be a mess. Like I don't know this guy that well. What if he thinks I'm a dork? Not that it matters because I don't know him, but like I might hang out with him in the future. It might be cool. I don't know what he thinks. I don't know his sense of humor that well. I don't have a good read on this person. So we go and we hang out for a couple hours, and three's a crowd, sure, but I'm basically quiet the whole time, and I'm sure at the end I can't help but think he probably thought like, what does Zach hate me? What's his deal? Like, why is he quiet?
Because you didn't really engage in conversation because you just felt the anxiety over it.
And like being back. Yeah, but I'm not jumping into it.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. How many times have you walked up to a conversation with anybody, and if you leave that conversation and you've talked the whole time, you walk away going, oh, that person is awesome. It never fails.
I mean, I like to think so.
So he probably thought you were awesome.
Yeah, he probably thought you were awesome. Listening and stuff, when people talk, then the people who listen are the ones that others always think they are. Is number one. But number two is that's mindfulness. That's what mindfulness will do to you, because see, you are an easy that's what's funny is you do a very good job at disguising that on the outside, because you were you were very easy to talk with. You're very easy to talk about many conversations. So like it's odd that you have that go on, because if you were able to learn the mindfulness stuff really well and release your mind of like all of that stuff, right? When you're already kind of naturally easily to talk with people,
from the other people's perspective.
Yeah. If I'm one of those people. You put a microphone in front of me, I'm great. Yeah. Like for some reason, like when I'm doing this, like it's completely reasonable. Whenever I'm in public, I'm like a total social introvert. Like I have trouble talking to people. Like it's a weird thing, and I think that might be because of environment. Because I'm used to this, and I'm comfortable with it.
Here's the other question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could it also be because this sort of like gives you
shield
the permission slip to speak? like a microphone or a camera or something like that, it's like, oh, you are picked. This is your job. You're being paid to do this.
Yeah.
So here's the talking stick.
Right.
Whereas in public, you're kind of like, I'm not sure if they want me to jump in. I'm not sure if what I have to say is valid. I definitely, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
I've always loved the phrase, never mess with the man with the microphone.
Yeah.
Love it. Because I have a microphone.
But that, I'm telling you,
Feels good. A little bit of empowerment there.
So
That's what
anyway,
that
it
is.
can tell
sounds
you
like
this.
maybe some Headspace
Maybe.
app in the
I
morning.
think a little meditation
look,
might be
pick up
wise.
Headspace, start learning the mindfulness stuff.
Yeah.
Start like doing that. It's 10 minutes in the morning and stuff. I promise you, understanding how that mindfulness works is huge.
Yeah.
And that book, 10% Happier, is one of my favorites. It's a good book.
by Dan Harris.
Yeah, about
ABC News
10%
Oh,
correspondent.
Happier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one. And it's a really good audio book too, because his voice is really, he reads it and he does a really good job on
Draws
the
it
audio
out.
book as well.
I dig that.
But we also want to talk a little bit about the Second Shot group. So on Facebook, go to Second Shot, and some people have been like messaging, going they can't figure
some
it out
people
and
can't
find
find
it.
it.
And
What? They can't figure it
I
out.
mean, if you can't find it, I don't know if you can be in the group.
yeah, I mean, all you got to do is go
That's
to
barrier for entry.
all you have to do is go to search and type in Second Shot.
Like you
Second
guys,
shot.
my
And
dad
it, like-
even found it.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
really?
and
My
it
dad
comes
found it,
like
yeah.
right up to the top with
Yeah.
the logo and all, like normal. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy to find. I mean, it really is.
Right.
But when you go, it's a closed group, so it's just for the members, and you have to answer a question to get in. Like there's one question you have to answer in order to get into the group or not. So we're going to keep that group closed because we want it to be a community. Because most of the community in Second Shot are people that are positive, that want to do better, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, where it's all these things. And we've got a lot of really strong professional people in different areas. So like, I see it as a community of people that believe some core principles, as we talked about, that like if I need somebody to, if I'm looking for a furniture person, you know, and want to know some insight about the furniture store business, maybe asking that question in there, and somebody in there is in the business and they may be in different states where can't help, but maybe give them some insight on how to go about purchasing furniture type thing, or
Yes, just
car sales or whatever.
like-minded people. Like-minded people. We want
They
all
wanna
of
help
you to
each
be
other.
able to connect because we can't. You know, I mean, we're the podcast. This is sort of
Right.
like the community of people, so you can talk throughout the week, not just on Fridays when the podcasts come out. And it's been very cool to see as people have been answering the one question to get in, what their feedback is. So we just wanted to kind of
Yeah, I
highlight
wanted
some
to
of that.
read a couple of the. I'm not going to say their names because I don't know if they were wanting us to do it, but I'm just going to kind of read what some. Because the question is what do you like most about the Second Shot podcast? That's the question they have to answer.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy the content. Heath's unique viewpoints on subject matter. Second Shot has been a part of my morning routine for the last year or so, and I can't imagine starting the day without it. I like how honest. Next person is, I like how honest you are. You don't try to say what you think people want to hear. You speak from the heart, and I love that. Keep up the great work, and I love the little tidbits about your family too.
Aw.
That was nice.
That's
I
sweet.
love the tidbits about my family too.
Yeah.
Another one is the uplifting attitude, positivity, and humor brings it every week. A never missing episode. Learning to look at issues from more than one angle. I enjoy the positivity from all the members of the show. So like that's what's awesome is you hearing some of the answers to it all and
Yeah.
how people are having really the you know, we're just now getting the group started. So the more and more people that join it, the more it gets, the more that it will start fueling some of those discussions and stuff that we're hoping with a like-minded group of people that it will fuel.
It feels good to see Second Shot post up more in Facebook. Just come up randomly. Somebody in there will ask a question. It's a nice, like, subtle reminder. It's kind of like, this is going to sound terrible, but what do they call them? Like Sunday only Christians or whatever? People who go to church on just Sunday and play it nice that one day, and the rest of the week they're all about. It's nice to have that reminder throughout the week. It's like, oh, hey, we are a part of this thing that is like really neat, and like we should remember the things we talk about here throughout our week because we talk about important stuff.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It is a
We're
nice
not
reminder.
Friday only second shotters. Oh, and somebody called them second shooters.
Second
Second shooters. I thought that was cool.
It said,
Like-
welcome to the Second Shooters group. Hey, Second Shooters.
It's practically a religion.
And then we also had a review on Tuesday said on iTunes, again, shaming you all. If you've not left a review, go do it now. On
get
your
more
iTunes,
second shooters.
on your Stitcher or whatever. But a great way to start the week. The show may come out on Fridays. However, listen to it on Mondays on my way back to work. Listen, you guys help me help put me back in the right mindset. to go into the offense with confidence and a go-get-'em attitude. I'm very thankful that you guys dedicate your time to help others. Love this show. Heather Palmer. Thank you, Heather.
I kind of like
Heather.
to listen on Mondays too, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's a good way to kick off the week.
Yeah. I mean, it's out on Fridays if I have time on the weekends, and sometimes I'll do my long walk with Charlie.
Wait, Matt, and what was the massive week we had last week from? And it was from, and there was a lot
People
from
from
one
Bahrain.
Bahrain, that's right.
Yeah, really fascinating, and I don't know. We picked up a few fans overseas or something like that.
Yeah.
It's also been
Shout to
interesting.
Bahrain.
Yeah, it's also been interesting to see what days become popular because Wednesday is super popular right now, and it used to be Saturday or Sunday. People would listen to it on the weekend, but now Wednesdays have spiked in popularity.
A hot day to listen to
Interesting.
Second
I wonder
Shot.
why
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And there were some other states too. I mean, it's it's interesting to see people from all over the country popping up.
Yeah,
I got a theory as to why Wednesday might be the day. And it's a stretch, but hear me out. I listen to a handful of podcasts. Why not? Who doesn't? And I listen to like my favorites first, like the staples, the ones I've listened to for a long time. Newer ones are when I start to hit a little bit of a lull. I'm like, okay, I'm
gonna go
towards
try
the end
some
of the
new
week.
ones.
I'm going to try some new stuff. Finding us in the middle of the week might be a good thing because it
It
might
might be
indicate that
moving it.
people are trying it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that people are like, okay, I'll give this one a shot. I listen to my good stuff, and maybe we're moving up that rotation.
Well, and that's what
my
Matt.
theory.
That's
Yeah,
why,
I like that theory.
And
not
I
bad.
think it could be because that's why the ratings and reviews are so important because that's what it does move it up in the queue so that when
people
people
will
are
see.
searching for something, they start finding us more, and that's why ratings and review are important because if people go in there searching for something, to pick them up, that the more ratings and reviews we have, the more that Second Shot gets up closer to where those people can find it.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I don't think your theory's far off. I don't think it's a far off stretch.
I don't like to. Yeah, I like to think so.
No, that's
anyway.
that actually, and I kind of do the same thing. I have this.
I do
I've been
too. I
listening
do
to
too.
this one
Yeah.
about this one.
you've been listening
naturopathic
nonstop.
doctor. Well, he does a podcast every day.
Oh, really?
This guy's podcasting every day. He probably sees no clients. He only podcasts. But so I listen to that one like every day because I'm just like fascinated by it. And I've been hearing from other people too. They'll be like with Second Shot, they'll binge listen to get all the way back through, and then they get caught up. But they get in the habit of listening to like one every day to get caught up, and then it only comes out once a week, and so then you're like, oh, I gotta wait till Friday or whatever.
That's right.
Well, and that's why I think is cool about going and joining the Second Shot group, to be around that community all week in a group of community where you can share your ups and your downs and the positive things, and also look for advice for things and have a group of people there that are all on the same page of being uplifting, wanting to help you move forward. The ratings and reviews put us up there to let people see it. I appreciate all the people that take the time to do that, as well as look up the group, Second Shot Group on Facebook. And we're also going to get some more of the Second Shot swag ordered and in the way, and we'll get it out to we'll be letting everybody know how they can get their chance to win some. So
I should have worn my shirt to
I know.
shoot the podcast today. Dang it!
Yeah.
I'm taking pics and everything.
It could have. Yeah.
So
Could've
Jenny,
won the
where
shirt.
can they find you?
So at Jenny Ann Chondo TV on Twitter, Jenny Ann Chondo on Instagram and Facebook, and my website's jennyannchondo.com, even though it always crashes.
Aw, I'm at Apple Zackintosh on Twitter, and I'll be on the Facebook page as well. So hit me up sometime. Yeah, let's talk.
At Heath Oaks at Ignorance on Fire as always. Go to the Second Shot group, and there's also secondshotcast@gmail.com. We love y'all. See you next time.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.